Just got the Sofirn Q8 Plus, and this has been described as daylight in a can. Let's open it up and take a look. Hey, what's up YouTube? Dan the Fix-It Man. Got another quick video here for you. This company Sofirn just sent me their Q8 Plus, which is an ultra bright flashlight coming in at 16,000 lumens max output in their turbo mode, 554 meters of max throw. Now this also doubles as a power bank, I'm told, so we'll take a look at that. Now on the back you have all of the different modes, lumens, runtimes, and throw, and you can take a look at all of that if you'd like. Go ahead and feel free to pause the screen. But we'll go ahead and open this up and see how it looks. And this is a nice box that this comes in, little magnetic opening right here. Now it comes with the manual. This print is so small, I went ahead and printed off the PDF off of their website so that I can read this a little bit easier. Now it comes with these spare O-rings as well. And it comes with the USB-A to USB-C charging cable. And wow, that is very heavy. Tag here, README, is just telling us that we need to take out the little paper disc inside. So let's do that. And there it says remove. We'll get rid of that. That's what the inside of the top part looks like. And you can see we have 3 Sofirn batteries. These are 21700 and they're 5000 milliamp. So we just make sure that when we put those in that you put the positive side up. Now this battery casing is very thick. It's machined out around each individual battery. Let's put these all back in. Threads feel really nice. Now the green LED is on even on standby. So even if you're not using the light, you're always going to have a little bit of an LED light going. That might bother some people, and if it does, and if you're worried about the light accidentally coming on, just give it a quarter turn or so and the light will turn off. Now this is really similar in size to a soda can here. Just grab this can of Diet Coke out of the fridge. You can see it's very similar even in diameter up here at the top part of the light. And then here's one of these little mini cans of Diet Coke, the 7.5 ounce, and you can see that that's very close in diameter to this part of the light where your hand goes around it. So it's feels about the same diameter. You can see that it matches up pretty well, but that's why they say, you know, daylight in a can, I guess. But that is beefy, man. It feels good. It's a nice grippy handle, and you can see that these are really deep cuts right here that will help dissipate the heat when this is on some of the higher modes. There's a close-up of the emitters for you. We've got 6 Cree XHP50B Color on this light is 6000 to 6500 Kelvin. They also sell this in a 5000K version as well. This does have the Anduril 2 simple user interface and the advanced user interface within that Anduril 2. Now, by the way, that green LED that's on right now, that's always on in standby mode unless you go into the advanced setting, and you can change that. You can change the color, or you can even turn it off, or you can also change its brightness level. You do have to get into the advanced settings of the Anduril 2, which I'm not going to be able to go over each and every setting. There's just too many things that you can do with this light in the Anduril 2 Advanced, but I'm just going to try to run through some of the basic operation here first, and then we'll get this charged up, and then we'll take it out at night when it gets dark, and we'll try to get into some of the other settings. So operation in the Anduril simple user interface is pretty easy. Basic usage, just to turn it on, just one click and it's on, and another click and it's off. Now if you want to change the brightness with it on, just press and hold, and that will ramp up. And then if you press it again, it will ramp down to a very low setting, and then again another click and it turns off. Click it again, it goes on to that same memorized setting. And then if we press and hold, we can ramp that up. And that is, wow, it's extremely bright here in the garage. That's just lighting up everything. But we'll turn that off for right now. Now the orange light here is now glowing, and I think that that is only supposed to glow when it's in discharge mode. If you have, for example, a phone or something hooked up to this, you can see the orange light went off. I saw another review video, they saw the same exact thing. The orange light kind of stayed on for a little bit after operating the light, but it's really only supposed to be on, I think, when the light is discharging. To access the USB-C port here, it's just a little rubber cover, and just peel that back. It says it's IPX8 waterproof. You know, you could get this wet, but make sure that you keep that closed if you are going to be in a rainy or a wet environment. Let's check the power bank function and see how that works. Now I just have a USB-C to an iPhone cable here, and you can see if I plug this in, this is definitely charging the phone. So that would be great to have with you in an emergency. And of course, as I mentioned, we will get this all charged up before we use it tonight. I just want to show you, and maybe I can bring this up on the screen as well. This is the Anduril simple user interface, and you can see up above the turbo is grayed out. We can't get to the highest setting if we're in simple user interface here. That's how it's set up by default. This does use the simple user interface, which is good if you do want to lend this to someone. And you know, if you hand this flashlight to someone, I definitely wouldn't give this to a kid, but if you hand this to somebody else to use, you know, at least they can kind of get the basic functions off, on, and you know, press and hold. And those are just the basic functions that you would need to work as a flashlight, but the minimum and maximum brightness are limited to make it safer, and any complex or advanced functions are blocked. Now, as far as the actions and how to operate this, you can see that it's 1C, 1H, 2C, 2H. What that means is 1C is just one click and 1H is one hold, but 2C is click, click. 2 hold is the first click and then hold. The one click on and one hold is ramp up or ramp down, depending on if the button is released less than a second ago. So there's ramping up, and then there's off. You can also double click to go to the highest safe level. Now this is not turbo, this is not 16,000 lumens, but it's still very bright. You can also toggle between smooth ramping and stepped ramping while the light is on. And all you need to do for that is 3 clicks while the light's on. So let's do that. So now it's at stepped ramping. So if I press and hold, you can see it steps down, press and hold, it steps back up. Then also 4 clicks is lockout mode. And now it's in lockout mode. So if you try to turn it on, it's not turning on. So if we hit 4 clicks again, now we're unlocked again and we can use the light. Now I've seen some other review videos on this exact light, and they were only operating in simple mode, thinking that when they were on high, they were on turbo or the highest setting, which is not the case. So this is a lot brighter than some of those other videos have demonstrated, and we'll show you that tonight when we get out into the field. All right, now here's the Anduril 2 advanced UI chart, which is everything below this segmented line. I'll see if I can get this graphic and put it up on the screen for you. But you can see that it's basically just like a flow chart. You just go through here and it tells you everything that you can do. See here, we do have turbo available. Now I am not going to get into each of these modes. There's strobe mode, there's temperature, there's sunset mode, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do, including a disco function and all kinds of stuff. But I do want to show you how we can get into turbo, which is first we need to get into the advanced by doing 10 and hold, you know, holding the 10th, it should go into turbo. So let's do that one here first. Now keep in mind here on the box, the chart that I showed you, in turbo, it's only a turbo runtime of 2.6 minutes because this just gets really, really hot. Totally normal, but just keep that in mind. So if you are going to operate this in high or turbo for a long time, give it a break. You know, turn it off if you can and let the light cool down. But it does have a runtime in high at 4.5 hours, which is pretty crazy. I'm sure this thing would be getting really hot by then, but it is impressive that it can run that long. Let's go ahead and go into the advanced user interface by pressing the button 10 times and holding it on the 10th press. And then we've got a little flicker there, so that lets us know we are in advanced. All right, so the light is on. Now we're going to double click for turbo. I can feel the flashlight getting warm. I think we're gonna save this for a field at night. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you as far as the functionality of this light. Obviously this Anduril 2 user interface, you're gonna have to study this a little bit. I recommend you print this out, and even then it's still very small print. So maybe blowing this up on a computer would be the easiest way to read through that and understand the light functions. Now the body of this flashlight also has a little 1/4-20 screw opening right here, basically for a tripod mount. So you could get one of those little tripods and just have some hands-free floodlight action, which is pretty neat. You know, the tail cap does allow it to stand pretty easily. Definitely a very bright light and feels good in the hand. Excited to try this out at night. We'll take this out into a field and see if we can light it up pretty well. Now I'm waiting for it to get dark outside so I can show what this really looks like, but while we do that, I'm charging it up and I've got it plugged into the USB-C cable right here. You can see that we have a blinking LED blue light that's flashing off and on, and as soon as that goes solid, we'll know that it's fully charged. All right, here we are at night. I've got the Sofirn Q8 Plus. Now I have this in the advanced user interface mode, so we will be able to do a few more things in addition to just the simple user interface. So for example, if we just turn it on, it's extremely bright, as you can see. Ramp it down and we can ramp it back up, and then double click, and that's turbo. That's the 16,000 lumen setting. That really lights up this entire field. Super bright. Let's turn it off. If we want to get into the strobe feature or some of the blinking features, we're going to press this 3 times and hold it on the 3rd time. And then it goes into what they call candle mode. You can see it kind of flickers like a candle. That's kind of neat. You could just set that out and kind of have the ambiance of candlelight. And then if you do a double click, it will go into a bike flasher mode. So that's something if you did want to mount this on your bike. 2 more clicks and it goes into party strobe. And then if you press it 2 more times, it goes into tactical strobe. And that will stop anyone in their tracks. And then 2 more clicks after that, and it goes into what's called lightning storm. And it's kind of mimicking the effect of flashing lightning, which is pretty neat. And then 2 more clicks to get out of that and go back into candle mode. And there it is, candle mode again. And then 1 more click turns it off. Once again, here it is, just in the on position. We can ramp that all the way down. Now, when you ramp it all the way down in the advanced user interface, you can see that it goes even dimmer than it does in the basic user interface. And we can ramp it all the way back up. And then we can go ahead and double click the button and it will go into turbo mode. And there it is again, the 16,000 lumens. Daylight in a can. I can see why they call it that. Very impressive. And that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you. A very nice light. I thought it was going to be a little too big, but this feels fine in my hand and it is very grippy. It feels like a very high quality flashlight. Again, this is not something I will be lending out, but if you do, it's nice that you have that simple user interface. You can hand this to someone and they can just turn it off, turn it on, and ramp up or down. Pretty simple operation if you are going to loan this out. I probably won't. I think it's pretty nice and I'll hang on to this one. I hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. And of course, I'll get a link in the description where you can pick up this exact same flashlight as well. Thanks so much for watching and good luck.